Hey guys, it's Tim, and this is Pro Wrestling Unlimited. As we're here on another Monday, it is the 10th of December with another Monday Night Raw review. What is going on, everybody? Sorry for the late start, I mean. And some things happened tonight where it was just a bunch of family things happened. Dinner was late, and kids went to bed late, but it's all good. We're here talking Monday Night Raw. I thought the show, in my opinion, was a better show than the last 2, maybe even 3 weeks of Monday Night Raw. But before we get into Raw, let's see who's with us right now in the chat. We do have Kristen McNutt, Noah Hall, Beastie Boys 124, Freddy's Nightmare, Derek Bocek, George John Cox, Steve Emblom. We've got Travis Ray, Benjamin A, Deke Diegler. Who else we got with us? Ariana Banks, Jeff Guevara, Woken King Slender. Thank you guys for joining us here on this Monday night. Only a couple more weeks till Christmas. This weekend is going to be the big WWE TLC pay-per-view. Nick and I should be there live, so we're not exactly sure how we're going to do our review yet, but we may be doing it from the car after TLC. I'm trying to think of some sort of an idea. We'll figure it all out. There's ways we can do it mobile, so we'll see. We'll see how we'll do the TLC review. With that, let's talk some Monday Night Raw. Tonight's Monday Night Raw was from San Diego, California, and it was kicked off with Seth Rollins. So Seth Rollins was in the ring to start the show. There were ladders, tables, chairs, and they played Rollins' theme with him already in the ring. And they kept playing the part over and over and over that says, burn it down. And it's like, why are you doing this so many times? It was over and over and over and over. And I'm like, enough. Yeah, the crowd likes to say burn it down. But they like to say it one time when they know when it's going to come. You keep adding it in here randomly over and over, they're not going to know when to say it or their timing. So that was a little weird that they kept doing that. Rollins would go on to state that he would burn it down at TLC when he fights Dean Ambrose. He would be able to use the theme tonight. I don't know. He wasn't there to call out Ambrose, though, because he had a few words for old general manager Baron Corbin. Corbin would then come out, huge boos, spoke. He offered how a private conversation with Rollins would be better. Rollins told him, cut the crap, and told him to shut up and listen. Rollins said that he's been a little busy with Ambrose and hasn't had a chance to tell Corbin what he thinks of him. Under your leadership, according to Rollins, he states, under your leadership, Monday Night Raw has sucked. And it has sucked because of you, and then the crowd starts chanting, Corbin sucks. Rollins told him, cut the crap. Yet again. Corbin would go on to state that he allowed Rollins to vent, but told him to watch his words. Rollins didn't care about his warnings or anything of the sort. He would then put over the talented roster in the back, stating that some guys are not getting opportunities that they're supposed to be, and then he puts over the revival and called Lucha House Rules ridiculous. Crowd cheered that one because it's true. Lucha House Rules are very ridiculous. Rollins also stated that he talked about urination segments. Rollins said that Braun Strowman must have hurt Corbin's feelings, which is why he handed the Universal title back to Brock Lesnar, who hasn't had a match on Raw since 2002. He called this the Corbin era and an abject failure. Rollins also mentioned that the locker room morale, fan support, and TV ratings are at an all-time low, all because of Corbin. And they're going in to like real things here. And I'm like, is this them trying to tell us that they see the problems and they're going to try and fix them? Or is it we see the problems, but we're going to keep par for the course? That's my thing. It's like, you're addressing all these things that the fans address, but are you going to do anything about it is the big, big question. Corbin said he didn't care what Rollins had to say, the locker room or the fans, but for that matter, He said that he would be in charge for a very long time after TLC. He said that things are only going to get worse for a guy like Rollins. Corbin said that Ambrose would win the IC title at TLC, and he would beat Strowman by forfeit, which is too bad. Corbin then stated that when he becomes a permanent GM and puts Rollins through, he's going to put Rollins through hell. Rollins dared him to put him through hell tonight and challenged him to a match. Corbin kind of just tried to brush it off, like, no, we don't need to do this close to TLC. And Rollins said, how about you have your TLC match tonight against me? You can get your wish. Corbin said no. Rollins then called him a coward, and the fans joined in. Corbin then said, fine, I accept. The fans cheered, and then Corbin said, but the IC title is going to be on the line. And Rollins was just like, okay, cool, fine by me. We got a $5 super chat donation from Kristen McNutt. I love Seth Rollins' promo. And any news on Braun Strowman's update? Haven't heard anything on Strowman's update. Last thing we saw was he posted a picture, I think it was Friday or Saturday, I can't remember exactly, of his elbow. And it's still all kinds of beat up, still got the stitches in it. So I don't know if he's going to make it to TLC or not. Backstage, Dasha Fuentes asked Rollins if it was smart to get himself into this match right now. Rollins said probably not, but he wanted to be a leader for everyone on that roster. He had to take a stand because if he didn't deserve to have this title. Then we get a 3-on-2 handicap match. Tag team titles are on the line as it is Chad Gable and Bobby Roode taking on AOP and Drake Maverick. And when this match started, I was just like, oh man, really? AOP, Maverick, they're just going to go over Gable and Roode yet again. And it's like, you just sit there and you're just like, we know the outcome, what's going to be here, but we didn't. We really didn't. So coming down to the ring, Gable and Roode wore matching robes and in-ring attire. Gable wore trunks instead of a singlet. Early in the match, Gable and Roode sent AOP to the outside, and then, as the AOP were getting to their feet, they took Drake Maverick and launched him over the top rope, crashing onto the AOP members, Razor and Akam. It's Akam. For some reason, I always I say the word Razor, and then I think Ninja Turtles, Toka and Razor. So I always kind of like, no, it's not Toka, it's Razor and Akam. Anyways, very impressive looking spot, the way they just hucked the small little Drake Maverick over the top rope. Anyways, go to commercial break. When they come back, AOP is in control. Bobby Roode got a hot tag and it looked like he was going to start, doing some good things here for his team, but he got cut off and hit with a super collider. Gable then tried to fight back after getting into the ring, but got a powerbomb neckbreaker combo. Drake Maverick would then start looking cocky on the apron, like tag me in. And as they tagged him in, he ran over to cover. Before doing a glorious pose, or after doing a glorious pose, and Roode caught him with a crucifix pin. 1, 2, 3. Roode and Gable win. New Raw Tag Team Champions. Yes, new Raw Tag Team Champions. And Chad Gable and Bobby Roode. Those words just came out of my mouth. I did not expect this. I did not see this coming. We didn't know about this handicap match, to my knowledge, before SmackDown even went on the air. Travis Ray, I guess you could say that. Travis Ray says Gable is now a Triple Crown Tag Team Champion. I guess if you want to call it that, but he has made history. He is now the first person to hold both the NXT, the Raw, and the Tag Team Championships within the WWE. The Raw and SmackDown Tag Team Championships. He's held tag team titles on all three brands. It's pretty cool. Like I said, I did not expect this at all. I did not see this coming. I did not think that they were going to win. Like I said, match starts and I go, oh, Gable and Roode going to lose again. Whoopie-doo. So Drew McIntyre, we learned, will face Dolph Ziggler later tonight. They said McIntyre asked for this rematch after he lost last week. They also mentioned that Finn Balor was not here because of, quote-unquote, an injury, and that he was being replaced in the Mixed Match Challenge. which we learned more about that later. And we did learn that Finn Balor is not dealing with an injury. According to PW Insider and Fightful.com, they are both reporting that Finn Balor, along with other members of the roster, are currently sick, dealing with some sort of an illness, and they do believe that Finn will be back in time for TLC. Good, cleared, good to go, all healed up. Well, I don't even know if I want to say healed up since it's not an injury, but all feeling better by Sunday's TLC pay-per-view. Charlie Caruso asked Rude and Gable about their win tonight. Rude said that there hasn't been a lot of reason for hope on Raw lately, but they knew if they put in the work, they would become champs, and Gable called it glorious. Natalya came down to the ring for a promo. This segment, I didn't like it for the fact of the way they exploited Jim Neidhart. So Natalya came down to the ring and said that she loves this business and the WWE, but Ruby Riott doesn't respect anything or anyone. Ruby disrespected her family. Natalya said that Ruby thinks that she's got an easy ride to the WWE because of her name as far as Natalya goes. Ruby doesn't remember the past. Natalya recalled the Montreal Screwjob and Brett punching Vince in the face. Natalya said that she had to overcome all of that and more to make it to the WWE, and she was proud of her family's name. Like Natty didn't just, oh, you're a heart, yeah, okay, you can come into the company. No, like they gave her a look. They passed on her a first time. She went and wrestled in Japan. She wrestled at other places up there in Canada and stuff. And then finally they were like, you know what? We'll give you another look. And then they finally signed her. They didn't sign her the first time. She was calling WWE, sending tapes, getting her names to the right kinds of people. It wasn't just oh, you're in that Hart family. Okay, we'll sign you. She had to work just as hard as anybody else to try and get recognized by the right kinds of people to get a tryout and get a look. Natalya said that she would beat Ruby Riott at TLC and was dedicating the match to her father. Natalya did start to cheer up, and the crowd cheered for her. Natalya said, "I will drive your ass through a table," which brought out the Riott Squad. They came out with a table of their own, and they mocked Natalya's crying and suggested she find a good counselor. Ruby said that Natalya doesn't represent the Hearts, she disgraces them. Ruby said that she has an early Christmas present for Natalya that she would unveil right now, and it was a table with a cardboard cutout on it of Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Ruby said that she would put Natalya through this table at TLC so she could be closer to her father than she has ever been. And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. It's like, really? It's basically, if you're saying, oh, you're closer to your father than you are right now, like, what are you saying? You're going to kill her? Like, I just thought that was a little too much. Excuse me. A little too over the top, a little too out there. To me, it was okay, the natty stuff. And then when they came out with the table and everything with Jim on it, Anvil, I was like, okay, now you've gone a little too far. Just a little bit, but hopefully they don't have that table. I mean, I'm not going to say that because they probably will have that table there at TLC. Ziggler did a selfie promo. He said that you can add McIntyre to the long list of people who took him for granted. He picked McIntyre out of obscurity and was going to send him back there tonight. Ziggler said that he wasn't the good guy or the bad guy in this story. He also said that he didn't understand Balor trying to help him last week. He doesn't need anybody's help. He advised McIntyre, remember who you're facing tonight. It's me. So then we get Dolph Ziggler versus Drew McIntyre. Before the match, Charlie Caruso asked McIntyre why he would want this rematch. Why he felt that he needed to have this match so close to TLC before his match with Finn Balor. McIntyre stated that he wasn't like the rest of the boys who backed down. He wanted to fight whenever he had the chance. He said nobody stays undefeated forever, not even Andre the Giant, Undertaker at WrestleMania, or even himself. McIntyre said losing just made him more dangerous. He asked for Balor. Balor didn't come. He told the fans that they should listen when he speaks and warned Ziggler to do the same or he's going to get his head kicked off. So Ziggler comes down, and after the break, Ziggler was mounting for a comeback, but McIntyre cut him off. Hit a white noise off the middle rope. Ziggler landed awkwardly. Ziggler rolled to the outside, and McIntyre went out after him. McIntyre chased after him. Ziggler sidestepped and sent him face first into the post. McIntyre would then barely beat a 10 count as Ziggler got back to the ring first. Ziggler then went for a super kick, but collapsed all of a sudden. Presumably, from all the damage that he had taken earlier in the match, McIntyre then grabbed Ziggler by the face and started yelling at him, mocking him, punching him, kicking him. It was crazy. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, zigzag by Ziggler. Like, whoa, where'd that come from? Michael Cole tried to hype that up, like, oh, this could be the finish, this could be the finish. That's a zigzag, that's his big move. And he went for a super kick again instead, going straight for the pin. Well, no, he went for the pin. Barely got a 2 count, barely. Ziggler then went for another super kick, but McIntyre caught him. Wicked looking Claymore kick. Pinned him 1, 2, 3. There you go. McIntyre got to get his heat back. 50-50 booking. Chris McNutt with a $5 super chat donation. If Braun does just show up, they replace him with Bray Wyatt. That's the rumor we've heard, but I don't even know if that's even a concrete or even 100% factual. Right now, it's just a rumor. After the match, McIntyre would continue beating on Dolph Ziggler. There's all these tables and chairs still at ringside. I guess they were trying to go with the TLC theme all night. McIntyre then set up the steel steps. Before he could use them, a bunch of officials ran down and tried to stop him. While Ziggler was sitting against the video board on the ring, McIntyre nailed him with another Claymore kick and rolled around with a smile on his face, making Drew McIntyre look like a very sadistic, lunatic heel, and I love it. McIntyre then lets the officials check on Ziggler. Segment ends. Like I said, I thought that was a really good segment. Great match between the two. Ziggler's always good to just go out there and be consistent. McIntyre's somebody that improves all the time, even though he's like a 15-year veteran. So then we get Bayley taking on Alicia Fox. And this is when they stated that Finn Balor will not be competing in the Mixed Match Challenge tomorrow. He'll be replaced by Apollo Crews because he's dealing with an injury. But like we said, he's not injured. He's actually sick. So Bayley was in control early, but a distraction from the outside allowed Fox to nail her with a big boot. Apollo Crews would then run down and try to assist her, taking out the Singh brothers and Jinder Mahal. Bayley then asked Crews to lift her up and throw her at the bad guys. They did so, and then Bayley gave Fox the Bayley to belly for the victory. Quick match, maybe 4 minutes if that. Master of Puppets said, didn't Jordan do that before Gable? You're right, he did, because he won those titles with Seth. I forget that because that was so short-lived. You're right, Master of Puppets. Gable's not the first to win all 3 brand tag titles. It was Jason Jordan. Good catch. Good catch. Backstage, Charlie Caruso interviewed Dean Ambrose, introduced him as the Lunatic Fringe. Ambrose told her not to call him that again. He added that Rollins gave himself the Arctic nickname and tried to put himself in the spotlight, which he didn't deserve. He said Rollins was losing control. He loved it, and he's going to show even more how out of control he can get. Ambrose stopped short of calling Rollins a piece of shit. Caruso then asked him why he thought what Roman Reigns would think of all of this. And he was just like, Roman? Who cares? They're still playing up the Roman Reigns thing. I don't know why. It's not needed. Caruso then said that she wanted his thoughts on something else, and they cut to a very dramatic video package of the Reigns leukemia announcement, and then Ambrose turning on Rollins, and then him burning the Shield gear, and then last week on Raw, when he came down with his SWAT team. I guess you could call him a SWAT team. And they cut back, and Ambrose eventually stood there for a second and just walked away. Kind of weird and awkward. Then get Elias in the ring. He claimed that Bobby Lashley did a radio interview where he stated that every sports team in San Diego should move to LA. Elias sucked up to the crowd and said that Lashley shouldn't be allowed to perform in San Diego. Elias said that he'd rather perform in a place I don't know that. Sorry about that. Lashley said that he would like to perform in a place like the Gas Lamp District, then in front of the LA Trash. Elias, now as a babyface, said that he wants to perform in front of the people. Instead of like back in the day when he would always trash the town, now he's no longer going to, trash the town. He's going to suck up to the town. Crowd started clapping along with him playing and singing, and then he finally was interrupted by Lashley and Lio Rush. We had Lio Rush taking on Elias. Excuse me. Heath Slater came out separately to officiate the match. Rush got a little moment to shine here in a 4-minute match. Elias clotheslined Lashley out of the ring. Elias caught Rush with a sit-out powerbomb for the victory. No, not for the victory. My bad. Sit-out powerbomb for what we thought could have been the victory, but Lashley broke up the cover. Slater didn't disqualify Rush, and instead, Lashley beat up Elias. Slater was about to call for the DQ, but Lashley stopped him. Lashley smashed the guitar over Elias, and then Rush covered him. Slater didn't really want to count the pin, but he did it anyways. 1, 2, 3. Lio Rush, put an asterisk next to that, defeated Elias. Michael Cole and Renee Young voiced their frustrations with how Corbin is running the show. How he's running every little itsy bit of the show. How he's taking control of way too much. Young said that they might as well call it Monday Night Corbin. They showed replays of Rollins' promo from earlier in the night, Gable and Rude winning the tag titles, the segment between Natalya and Ruby Riott, and McIntyre beating Ziggler. Back in the locker room, Corbin sarcastically asked Slater how Rhino was doing. Slater was about to remove his referee shirt, but Corbin said, whoa. If you got one more match, I need you to officiate tonight. So then we get Alexa Bliss moderating a press conference or a face-to-face confrontation between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax. So Bliss comes out, but before she could say anything, Tamina and Nia Jax would come out. Jax had a statement. She said that she made cracks about Ronda Rousey, probably having brain damage from all her time in the UFC. She said if Rousey has half a brain left, she would just hand the title over to her. No need to face Nia Jax at TLC. Jax said that she didn't need to talk trash to hype up a fight like Ronda Rousey tries to do because she's a 6-foot-tall, 300-pound Samoan woman, and she was the anti-Ronda Rousey. She said her secret weapon was her fist. She broke the face of she broke the face of Becky Lynch, and she was going to do the same to Ronda Rousey. Rousey finally would come out to the ring, and she hit her little pose she usually does with her mean face. And she says that she was here to fight. She jumped into the ring, and Nia and Tamina backed off. Jax and Tamina jumped back up on the apron, but Ember Moon would come down as backup. That was really it. Not much more to talk about. I mean, the babyface came down after she heard the heels talk trash. The heels ran away. Babyface got some backup. Boom. Typical babyface heel face-to-face segment. Nothing special there at all. But then this did lead into Ember Moon taking on Tamina. Moon won very quickly with the Eclipse. Jax tried to interfere, but Rousey yanked her off the apron and tossed her over the barricade into the crowd. Charlie Caruso then was talking with Baron Corbin, asked him if his match tonight was an abuse of power. Corbin said that that was a loaded question and wondered if she was trying to get shipped to SmackDown or something. He then told her he was just kidding and said that he was only accepting a challenge from Seth Rollins. She would then go on to ask if he was worried about Strowman and if he would show up on Sunday because there were rumors that he would. Well, of course, yes, he's hurt, but he's supposed to be there. Anyways, we'll see how that goes. We still don't know if he's even going to be cleared in time for Sunday from the elbow surgery. Corbin said he wondered if she got that from Twitter or Instagram because she was smarter than all them people on there. Corbin said that Strowman is now a one-armed man and warned Rollins that he could become one too tonight. Corbin said that everyone should all hail Baron Corbin when he becomes the full-time general manager after TLC. We then get a rundown of the entire TLC card, and we do learn that there's been a change to the Elias-Bobby Lashley match, as that is now a ladder match. The guitar will be hanging above the ring, and the first person to grab the guitar is legally allowed to use it in the match. We then get a Lars Sullivan hype video, and then we get the main event that went 25 minutes, well, almost 25 minutes. Heath Slater came down before the match to be the referee. Early on, Baron Corbin demanded Slater get him a ladder. As he did, Rollins caught Corbin with a springboard clothesline and as they went to a commercial. After commercial break, Corbin was in control and nailed Rollins repeatedly with a chair. He then drove him into the barricade. Corbin suplexed Rollins onto a ladder set up in the corner of the ring. Baron Corbin then sent Rollins to the outside, then began climbing a ladder as people started screaming from the crowd. Rollins leaped onto the ladder, but Corbin yanked him off and drove him into another ladder. Go to a commercial break, and after we come back, Rollins missed a move off the top rope, and Corbin nailed him with a deep six. About halfway through the match, Corbin was dominating, and it's like, okay, Corbin's not going to win this because he's dominating too much, and if you look at most WWE matches that go this long, when somebody's dominating for more than half the match, they typically don't win. Rollins would finally fire back and hit an enziguri. Corbin would then hit him again with a chair. Rollins grabbed the chair, though, and started hitting Corbin with it. Rollins followed this up with a suicide dive, but when he attempted to do a second one, Corbin caught him and chokeslammed him through a table. Corbin went again into the ring and tried to climb the ladder, but Rollins got in just in time. Pulled him off and hit him with a chair. Rollins tried a running charge with a chair, but Corbin moved out of the way. He hit Slater instead. This then led to the crowd chanting, "He's got kids." Rollins would then dodge a charge from Corbin, who ran to the steel steps. This then led Rollins to hit a super kick. Rollins would then place Corbin on a table on the outside and climb to the top rope. He would then go to the top. While on the top rope, he would hit a frog splash from the top rope to the outside through the table. Crowd started chanting, "Holy shit." Rollins would then begin to climb the ladder, but then Heath Slater started to shake the ladder. Rollins would look down at Slater, and Slater was just like, "I'm sorry. I don't want to do this, but I have to," as he knocks down the ladder. Slater would then get out of the ring and go grab Baron Corbin, who was still laying on top of the broken table. He helped Corbin get in the ring. He helped Corbin get up the ladder, but then Rollins got back to his feet. I did see some people on Twitter say, "Why'd Rollins get up so quickly?" Simple. Rollins didn't go through a table. He didn't get bounced off the ropes or anything, throated or. So it was like he just fell off the ladder. Most of the time, guys get up even quicker. So I wouldn't have a problem with that when I saw a lot of people on Twitter that did, saying that he got up too quickly. But he would pull Baron Corbin off the ladder and powerbomb him through the table that was set up in the corner. And then all of a sudden, something happened, and all the cameras looked off-center. None of them were framed correctly, and they were actually zoomed in. This happened right as Seth Rollins hit a super kick to Heath Slater. Rollins would then climb up the ladder, grab the belt, retain the title. His music played, and there we go. Ambrose will then slowly come out on the stage. The two had a stare down. The crowd was very into this. They were chanting very loudly, as this match is something that at least the crowd in San Diego really is excited for this Sunday. I wish they would have added a stipulation to the Ambrose-Rollins match, maybe a ladder match with a title on the line or something, but it's going to be a regular singles match. And that was Monday Night Raw. I want to thank you guys for joining me here on this Monday night. Again, I do want to apologize for starting a little late, but we will be live again tomorrow following SmackDown Live. Nick should be back with me, as he did state here in the chat. He had some family things he was doing tonight, so he couldn't make it. But if you do want to follow us, you can follow us right here, Pro Wrestling Unlimited on YouTube, Facebook.com/Pro Wrestling ULTD, on Twitter @PWUnlimited, and you can follow me @TimmyBuddy. We will see you guys again live tomorrow after SmackDown. Have a good night.